Hi, living in Boulder vlog for the 17th of September, November 2021. It's currently the 18th, 2021 on November at about 2 or so in the morning, a little after 2. I think I'm going to chop up some Frenchy fries after this, maybe, and get me some more foodsy wood. Last night, I was up until like sunrise-ish. Until I cracked, and then got up at like 1:30 or something. Can't remember. Started working until like 4 was when I finally ate and had a veggie burger. And then I didn't have anything. And then I went in and got $5 of alcohol. I'm like an alcoholic. I smoked resin last night. I accidentally broke my slider for my bong. Because I was scraping it. I was like, oh, might as well scrape. Scraped it and it broke open. So I scraped all the stuff inside. And I got kind of high last night, which was cool. And then maybe a little bit this morning too, with the rest of the resin that was in the pipe. Proceeded to totally wreck my lungs. I can still feel it now. And then after that, I went and got alcohol because, the work I'm doing is like the most time-consuming, tedious thing, which is all right because I get to listen to stuff. I was trying to listen to Momsen, but the work that I'm doing, I guess, was using too much of my brain RAM, brain memory. So I decided to just listen to all of the Roman lectures on YouTube because it's easier to listen to somebody talking than it is to listen to the computer talking. So there's this guy, and I don't know who it is because I'm listening to it on another channel. And I listened to, I think, to his series before. It's like a whole bunch of them, History of Rome. So, I want to listen to everybody's. I also like hearing people's perspectives on it, just to know what other people are saying. So that if I say something original, I know that I'm the one who's the first person saying that, because I've got a bunch of original ideas having to do with Rome. For example, one is you can triangulate how many people are literate and interested in history in ancient Rome, because in the year 390, the Gauls came down and sacked Rome and burnt their library, and they lost all of their history books. And so then when they kicked the Gauls out, like the next year, they had to rewrite their history from the beginning all the way to there, so 390, 490, 590, 690, 790, like 400 years, 890, 990, 10, like 600 years if you're going to go all the way to like six and a half hundred years if you're going to go all the way to Aeneas, so yeah, you just read Livy, and the stuff that Livy doesn't know about are the things that they don't really know about. That's the stuff that all of the scholars from ancient Rome together didn't know about. Because you would picture, I don't know what the population of the city of Rome was. It's you just calculate how many of the people there were illiterate, and then just imagine them all in a room trying to give rewrite the book together, because I'm sure that's how they did it. There needs to be a movie written. I should write a movie. There should be a movie made about the rewriting of the Book of Rome right after the sack, and just how it happened. But like, they didn't know who the name of the brothers who fought the Alba Longans were. Like, they knew the names of them, but they didn't know which was which, but they thought. So you can just to take all the things that they didn't know about and put it together and come up with a good idea of how literate everybody was and how much of the history books they read, give a good idea. paint a picture, write a story about exactly, just based on that, and that's just one idea, and I haven't heard anybody say that before. But anyway, that's what I was doing, and then when my brain gets tired, I would listen to some other things on YouTube, like the news, I just got a new credit yesterday on Audible, so I downloaded Raw, Law of One, Volume 1, I guess. I guess I'll do Volume 2 next month if I like it. I read Law. I read Law, Raw before, like 10 years ago, and it was interesting, so I like having that stuff handy on my phone, listen to it again. Get good ideas. I would like to, I just listened, I'm like 52 minutes left on Seth Magical Approach, but I want to like try to scientifically explain this stuff that the aliens and the spirits say, like Seth says that our human emotions create the weather, I'd like to explain that scientifically somehow. One day, just get as much knowledge about science and weather and microscopic science and all that, and then just from my knowledge try to explain how that would happen, But and even how miracles would happen. It says that there's such thing as that too, like miracle healers and stuff. But so the work that I was doing since the beginning was tracing. Today I started out tracing, and I had to have some naps today, because if I'm working and I'm like this, and I can't keep my eyes open, I could go and get coffee, buy an energy drink, or I could just fall asleep. And I had like a nap today. My coffee, my coffee maker broke. Like, I got a new coffee maker a couple months ago. Lasted like a month and then died. And then got and that was like a new one, but at the thrift shop. But then like last month, a month ago or whatever, or a couple weeks ago, before my roommate moved in, like right before, so like less than a month ago, bought a brand new Cuisinart. They're both Cuisinarts. And it worked for a couple of times, and now it won't work again. So like, coffee makers don't work for me. It's the weirdest thing. I'd love to have a coffee from time to time, also kind of get high off of it. It keeps me up, keeps me from having trouble keeping my eyes open. So, yeah, at one point tonight, though, I did get alcohol. I bought a 8%. It was like in a can-sized drink, and they said it had tequila in it. It tastes like soda, like a Sprite or something, and it said 8% alcohol. And then I got a little, like, Fireball whiskey thing. It was like $5 for both of them, and it got me, both of those together, I still feel it now a little bit, got me a little bit, like, relaxed or whatever, but I just felt like I had to, because the work that I'm doing now is really tedious. Like, it's good for listening to stuff, listening to books and listening to things, because I don't have to think too much. But I do have to concentrate. Like, it's not easy. Like, totally easy work would be something like copying and pasting. Like, if you're just copying and pasting all day long, like if I'm trying to make a book, and I have to copy like little itty bitty chapters into each individual section. So, copy, paste, like 3,000 times for a book. Copy, paste. That's the best. That's the most mind-numbing thing. And that's the best way to listen to things, and it's the easiest. But what I'm doing is actually kind of taxing. Like, you have to concentrate on what you're doing, because, like, it's almost like you're an athlete, eye-hand coordination. I'm tracing the roads, like windy roads through hills, the entirety of Rome. And after I do it with this polygon, I have to do it with the line. I don't know if I'll do it right away. I can leave it for later, but so I have to make sure it's quality, or else it won't look right. So I get to maybe 6,000 feet. I get pretty high up. I've been getting higher the better I get, but as high as I can to still have quality. just trace the road right on one side, and then I have to go back and trace the other road. The last couple of days I've only been doing one direction, but and so today I got up and I did a couple of roads the one direction, and then I was like, did I get them all? I think I got pretty much all of them. So I started doing the other side. So I did the other side, and that's like even more taxing because you have to zoom in, and then you have to like hold your arm really like straight and really, and then when you drag up, you kind of do it with your shoulder. You know, you hold your arm straight and you kind of drag it up with your shoulder like this, and then you have to move the mouse up and move it back up and then drag down, and it's like, so you have to have like total concentration. You know, it's like driving a race car, you know, or like mountain biking or something. It's like playing golf constantly, but like constantly all day long. So it's kind of taxing, you know. Not as easy as a regular brain candy thing, but so maybe because of that, I'm using too much brain to be able to pay attention 100% on books that the computer reads you, and you want to listen to stuff that somebody actually says with their words. So yeah, just taking advantage of learning Rome again, just to try to, so I can do a better job when I finally write it. Like, I was listening to the Conflict of the Orders, and they were saying how patricians, I think patricians were like 17% of the population, but they had like most of the power because they were the only ones who were allowed to be consuls and some other powers. So it got me really motivated to draw that in Google Earth. Go to where the Conflict of the Orders happened, like the secession on the Sacred Mount in 494 BC, which was only 15 years after the creation of the Republic, and yeah, you can illustrate that with Google Earth, you know, just with numbers of people, like these are the plebes, these are the patricians, but this is the power that the patricians have, and yeah, so it made me motivated to just go in there and write it on the Google Earth so that I can learn it. But also, I think that I could, when I explain it, like in videos, I can explain it. If I understand it through and through, I can explain it better than anybody's ever explained it, because I haven't heard anybody explain like all the way to the detail of everything, like exact numbers of everything. And so I could do it and supplement it with the Google Earth things that I make. So, you know, just keeping me motivated to get to there. So I don't think I'm going to finish this by Sunday. The idea was that I would. I had to take a day off day before yesterday because I got sick. I felt horrible. I don't know what, it wasn't a fever or anything. I just felt like shit. But then I chalked it up to because it was the COVID booster. Because I got the booster, and then like the next day I was fine, but then the next day I was like a little bit feverish. And then I got it on the 11th, and then 13th, 14th I felt really bad, especially the 14th. So, and then I felt fine on the 15th. So, and I didn't feel so bad today, but the alcohol and the weed and the alcohol is not going to do me any favors. So yeah, I got up and I was just tracing, you know. And it's like, as I'm doing the thing right now where you can be tracing all day long and feel like you haven't accomplished anything, even though you have been working your ass off the whole time. It just takes forever. It takes like over an hour to trace one section of road. You know, it would take all day to trace from like north to south Italy on one road, and there are a lot of roads just on one side. So it's, you know, I'm kind of on my own when it comes to like feeling that I'm making progress. I have to kind of manually make an effort to convince myself that I am making progress and that I will be done. So, but I don't think I'm going to be done by the end of Monday morning. It'll be a couple of days after that, and it'll be like Tuesday or something. By the time I'm done, if I'm even done, if I don't crack before then. Because when stuff gets tedious like this, I usually crack after a couple days. And if I do crack, or if I finish, the next thing I'm going to do is the Servian wall. Oh yeah, I wanted to say, like, if somebody's wondering, if somebody watches all my videos and they're wondering, well, when the hell are you gonna put it on your website for download? This is the longest I've ever been working on Google Earth stuff without putting it for download. So, and I should, just for security's sake. You know, if it's only backed up on two places, my computer and my external, one external. So, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is just wait till the beginning of the year, just bust my ass the rest of this month and then all of December. And then at the beginning of the year, I'll take a week to make sure that all the stuff that I've been creating on Google Earth for the last couple of months is available for download on Google Earth. I mean, on my website, even though it's not done. But it doesn't matter, because if I put it on available, I only have to do it once. And then to update it, you just upload it, whatever you've fixed, you know. So I don't have to, you know, keep fixing my website. It's the Google Earth that does that for it. So, yeah, that's what I'll do, and then maybe I'll write on the caption, on the title, available for download now. But yeah, I'm just, before I'd be like frantically like, ooh, let's put it up there, make sure that my website looks good. But my website's developed enough, dude. Like, I don't need to put available for download the half-ass stuff that I've already done for the last couple, half-done stuff that I've done for the last couple months, just to prove that my website is big. You know, it's already big. So yeah, but see, I try to avoid not going on my website, because I know that I said a week, because that I know that if I were to just do the smallest thing on my website, like, oh look, there's a typo, or oh look, let's fix that one leak, it's going to unravel and turn into Pandora's box, and I'll notice everything that's wrong with it, and I'll get sucked into my website and forget about the Google Earth thing that I was doing. So I need to just leave the website alone, you know, until I'm ready to just put a whole week into it, you know, so that I can put the stuff that I'm putting on and maybe fix a couple of other things, you know, that call out to me. So, yeah, because my website is like, because it's so big, you know, and I'm the only person building it, that every single time I look at it, at whatever page, there's a piece of apple stuck to my screen. Yeah, it's never as developed as I recall it being. In fact, I always feel like there was a problem and I accidentally uploaded an older version of the page onto the page, because I could have sworn it was more developed, but they're all like that. So it's just a mind trick that happens. Somehow I always manage to think that I did more than I did. So, yeah, I mean, this Google Earth stuff is so time consuming that the time that I'm spending just on the polygoning the roads of Rome on Italy is about the same amount of time as it would take me to put the rest of the Enlightenment books on my website and fix them all. It's extremely time consuming, to the point of being, I don't even know if it's worth it. But it's interesting because the roads that I'm tracing on Italy is they're like back roads, because, you know, I click to and from and it shows you the highway, and then I go click bicycle, and the bicycle routes they tell me to go on are dirt roads. These ain't like paved roads, like next to the highway frontage paved roads. Google Earth's telling me to go up on like 2-track roads, like dirt farm roads, like way out, which is cool because, you know, over the last couple of years, they're starting to build really nice gravel bikes. And gravel bike touring is going to be the new thing. And gravel biking is way better than normal biking, because you don't have to, especially in Italy, because you don't have to worry about getting killed. Like, Italian drivers are lunatics. They'll fucking kill you. And the roads are way too narrow. And so to be able to bike tour all the way across Italy, with like half of it is on these like dirt, 2-track dirt farm roads, where you don't have to worry about getting hit, and you can feel like you're, fresh air, not breathing fumes, and you can feel like you're in ancient Italy, ancient Rome. I mean, that's some great bike touring. So I think it's worth it in the long run to trace these polygon roads on there, and then make YouTube videos of it, because then you can show the road, like do the tour of the road, and then show off where all the different. You can see the sites of the battles, and see what the battles look like in the old cities and stuff. So, if I can get done with this before I crack, then all the, like, pain is temporary, but the memories last forever, type of a deal. So if I could, like, torture myself to get this done by Sunday, but if I get it done by Sunday and it's over, then it's like done. I can put it behind me, only it's done. So yeah, and then I'm going to proceed to do the Servian Wall, but then also the roads of the old Bronze Age villages in this area called Latium Vetus, the archaeological area where they did the digs, 15 kilometers northeast of Rome, right across the Tiber River from Veii, which is the Etruscan town they took over, like, kind of late on in their republic, even though it's only like 15 kilometers from Rome. And it's covered in like rivers. So I'm going to have to trace all the rivers around Veii too, and finish tracing the rivers around Rome. So I've got another like week or two just of tracing roads and rivers around the immediate area of Rome after I'm done doing these roads. So I was thinking to myself earlier today, I'm going to be tracing the rivers around Rome and roads until the end of the year, I think, all the way through the end of the year, perhaps. One thing that I heard on this YouTube, I guess it's this podcast, this YouTube series, this dude lecturing the history of Rome, he said that when Romans took over Veii, like, they did a siege for like months or something, a couple of months. Did he say 9-month siege? But they finally took over Veii and like killed everybody, killed all the men, and took all the women slave. So now Veii is like this like ghost town, like all the buildings are there, but there are no humans because they killed them all. So the Romans were thinking about just moving to Veii, which I didn't know, because I always pictured Rome as being the perfect location, and they were all proud of being Romans because it's Rome, and they got the 7 hills and the Tiber River right there. But I guess back in those days, they thought Veii was better than Rome. And Veii is nice. I mean, it was just surrounded by rivers. So I guess it goes to show that people love being surrounded by rivers. And so that's what I've got going. Just super tedious tracing, which is fine because I can trace stuff. Like, I was so pressured to work today that I didn't even call my mom. Like, I was supposed to call my mom every day to go on bike rides or walking or running. Like, I'm not getting enough exercise, like, when I go on bike rides with her, because she's on a trike and goes really slow. So I just kind of sit there on the bike and coast. And to ride my bike there, it's only a mile. So it's like I barely get exercise just by riding my bike there. So I think I'm going to, like, start running now. Like, I'm going to ride my bike to her house, and I can run alongside her. Because she goes so slow, it's almost like we're the same speed. So yeah, but she didn't call me, so maybe she needed to get caught up on stuff. So, yeah, but I had a little bit of a nap today, and watched like, while I was working, I was watching a movie with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds called Red Code. It was like a new kind of action comedy with Kirsten. That was my idea to watch that, and I was watching it just on the TV, not like while I was working, which I normally do. Because, like, when the way that I watch movies while I work with Kirsten, like now when I trace, because I only need one arm, I trace with my right arm. Like, I'm left-handed, I write with my left hand, I throw with my left hand, but I do mouse with my right hand. Like, I can't really do mouse with my left hand. I trained myself to do the mouse with my right hand because I guess all mouses were always on the right side. And so I hold the phone up like this with my left arm, how I am now. And so I'll have them, and I'll be talking to Kirsten with this phone, and like this, and and I'll be watching the movie, and then off there on the top of the wall, I'll be looking at my big screen TV and doing the tracing, and so I'm tracing, and then like off the corner of my eye, I'm watching the movie as I'm tracing, and then like every few seconds, if something interesting happens or I want to, touch base with the movie, I'll just kind of look at it for a couple seconds, and I'll do like that. That's how I've been watching movies. But no, I didn't do that with the movie last night. And then today I finished it myself because she didn't want to. She didn't want to. I guess watch it. She's not into those kinds of movies. She's more into like suspense. Anyway. Wow, I've been talking for 26 minutes. Ooh. So, yeah, I mean, it's just rinse and repeat with this for the next few days. It's tedious. I need to try to not drink, but like today was the day that I started going back, where I have to like it's a lot more stressful, takes a lot more concentration, and it's a lot slower on the way back. Because the way there, I can be at like 6,000 feet, and I just trace on one side of the road. But when on the way back, I have to get down to like 2,000 feet. Because it has to maintain the same width of the road, be a realistic width. So it's realistic. Yeah, I deemed it worthy to polygon instead of line tool the roads of Rome, because you zoom in and zoom out, and you zoom in and then the road gets wide, and then you look off at the distance and it's got the perspective. It just makes it look more realistic, especially when you're going over hills. So, yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Just more work forever. But one thing that keeps me going, keeps me motivated, is I can't wait to see what Bronze Age Rome looks like with all the tiny little villages, and then the configurations, how it changes throughout time. I'm going to do it to a T. It's going to be awesome. The archaeologists figured it all out. Exactly how big the towns were, exactly where they were, how frequency there were, which industries were going on at each and every epoch. And so to draw that would be amazing. And then also making Rome, the city of Rome, throughout the time period. So it's going to take a while, though. Like I was telling Kirsten earlier today, I'm going to be, like at the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, like in another year and a month from now, I'll probably be in the same exact situation as I am now. Like, my website it'll be the same exact situation it is now. The only difference is I will have made more progress with my Google Earth project, Like there'll be more Rome built and stuff, but that's it. Like, that's how tedious my website is. My goal is to get to the point where I can be an athlete and just use my website as the supplementary to that by the time I'm 50. So that'll be the end of 2024, I think. So I have like two more years, 2 years and a month. So I'd like to have my website looking good, something I can show, and and it's all polished and good by the time my mother dies, because she's getting kind of old. It's not like she's getting sick, but she's old, and so damn, almost talking for a half hour. So that's what I'm up to. Yeah, I'm gonna go listen to some like YouTube and then get going on the books and listening to the lecture again. Talk to you tomorrow.